three names come to mind when discussing the greatest swordsmen in Westeros. Sir Arthur Dayne, Sir Barristan Selmy, and Sir Jaime Lannister. Each of them hailed as a once-in-a-generation warrior, but if only one can stand at the absolute peak, who is it?
Well, hold on now. Aren't you forgetting somebody? What about Jon Snow? Come on, he's got to be one of the best fighters in Westeros. Nah, kidding, joke.
Unsubscribe. If you think Jon Snow stands anywhere near these three, just go ahead and hit unsubscribe from the channel.
Yes, Jon Snow is a low-T little deer scare. He's a wet rag compared to these boys. These are the top three for sure. And really, listen, they're all top. These are all kings of the hill standing on top. And then you have one among the three balancing their sword perfectly on the tip, and then they are standing on top of that sword that's balancing. So that's what we're here to find. Which one of them is standing on the sword? Which one of them is standing on the tip?
It only focuses on swordsmen. So Bobby B, as much as we love him, he's not going to be on this list, or he should not even be considered. We're only focusing on these three swordsmen.
Right, and for this, we're only going to be focusing on canon book material, so A Song of Ice and Fire, books, the main book series, statements, and feats, hopefully primarily feats, but, honestly, there's not a lot of feats for a couple of these guys, spoiler alert. So it's going to be some statements. We're going to be weighing in various things, pros and cons. Let's get started. First guy up on the list, one, Jaime Lannister, the Kingslayer.
Yeah, and we're going to be ranking these linear. So Jaime Lannister is automatically the first one up here, and then we're going to rank the other two based off of how we view them. But Jaime Lannister, the Kingslayer, the child prodigy who has just God-given natural talent, and made him to one of the most deadliest warriors in his generation. I don't think the only person they've kind of compared him to is Loras a little bit, that people are like, oh, look at Loras, he's so good. But every time Jaime sees him, he's like, dude, I was so much better than this guy. They think he's hot shit?
Yeah.
Dude, my shit was so hot, it would give you blisters just looking at it, dude.
Yeah, oh yeah, 100%. And listen, spoiler too, Jaime is way better looking than Loras. I know Loras has this pretty boy thing going on. Jaime is rugged as well. He's got the chiseled jaw, absolute Giga Chad, but also pretty. So Riz-wise and appearance-wise, I think Jaime takes it. We know he's a great shit talker as well. You know what I'm saying? So these are definitely pluses. I wouldn't say that Arthur Dayne or Barristan Selmy are better at shit talking, and I don't think that they're as good looking either. So again, these are just points in his favor before we get into the fighting. I do think that Jaime is a contender. I'm not saying that he's number one. I'm not even saying he's number two yet. But statements alone, we have some pretty major claims here. We have Brienne, who we know is a seasoned fighter. We don't really know her exact repertoire of who she's crossed swords with, but we know that she's had some good bouts. And this is when she fights Jaime in the woods, when he is restrained, he's like dehydrated and starved. His electrolytes are low as hell, hasn't had any protein in days. He's not carved up. His glycogen is at absolute zero, And she's saying, like, it's all I can do just to, like, hold back his blows to keep him at bay. He is taking me to absolute pound school. If I saw him with even a couple calories, like, give him a Jolly Rancher, and I'm going to be on my ass. That's basically what she said. And this is a mountain of a woman.
Yeah, right. And I totally agree. Brienne does say this. She says very flattering things about Jaime, which, makes me... I question it definitely, because Brienne is so in love with Jaime that maybe this was her first...
At this point, I don't know.
...realization. It's definitely repressed. She's definitely not outwardly showing affection to him, but, like, you're telling me you've never been bullied by someone, and deep down inside you're like, oh, I kind of like this guy. Oh, you're telling me that's never happened to you?
I felt sympathy for him for bullying. Like, as he rains down blows upon me and I can barely defend myself, I'm like, aw.
Maybe I'm the only one. But
that's so sweet.
Like you said earlier, who has she crossed swords with? She's like, dude, this is the best person I've ever fought before. But Brienne, she fought, I guess, Loras, right, at the little bit of tournament, right? So I guess she has some experience. But Jaime, right, he has a lot of people praise Jaime for his skills, right? Yep. Child prodigy, knighted at 15, dude. And not only just knighted, he also just automatically gets on the Kingsguard.
Oh, yeah,
like, that's a
real
record-breaking age for him. But his big claim to fame before anything to do with Robert's Rebellion was his incident with the Smiling Knight and the Kingswood Brotherhood, right? He held his own against the Smiling Knight, which he'll come back up later. I think we'll talk more about him later, but he holds his own, right? And then he fought off Big Belly Ben.
Yep, Big Belly Ben.
I need more from Big Belly Ben. What a great name.
Right. Well, I mean, the Big Belly is inherently like that. That's like max stat defense, right? That's like 100 defense. Like he could have his sword at his side, and he's just standing there looking down at Jaime. Jaime's sword can't reach him because the belly's too big. He could extend the sword fully with his arm, not get anywhere close to his face or any vital organs. So I mean, it's not surprising that he didn't, kill this guy or whatever. Big Belly Ben's actually an underrated fighter as well. We maybe should have put him in this list, but maybe we'll think of it next time. But that's a good feat for Jaime, I would say.
Yes, that's at 15. At 15 too. The only other notable fight we get out of Jaime is his Battle of the Whispering Wood, where he takes down 3 notable people. But other than that, I'm not really sure whether big battles he fights in. It'd been awesome to see him at like either the Battle of Blackwater or potentially at Robert's Rebellion, or not Robert's Rebellion, Balon's Rebellion, fighting something and having some awesome feat of strength. But the only other positive I can really think that goes into to Jaime's favor is George R. R. Martin's glazing of him, which again, we're going to hold off on that, but it just definitely is, what do you want to say, a half point, a small point in his favor, that George R. R. Martin thinks not only is he one of the best, if not the best in Westeros right now, but that also he would beat Aragorn in a fight. And he was like listing off like a ridiculous list of people he could beat in a fight. And I was like, come on, George, dude, take a cold shower, my guy.
Out of universe statements from anybody, even the creator, I don't take those seriously at all. I mean, look, Akira Toriyama said that Majin Buu was created from the beginning of time, and then we just find out that that's not true in series, and then also in the new Dragon Ball series.
Yeah.
It just isn't true. J.K. Rowling says that Dumbledore is gay. It's like, okay, I believe it. I'll believe it when I see it. Like, if you say something like that, it's not legit until it's on screen or on page. For Jaime's actual feats, there aren't too many more. The one thing I can say about him is his confidence. Like, it kind of depends on how you want to treat this, but he does have an inner monologue in A Storm of Swords where he says that he could beat Arthur Dayne, who, again, we'll go into Arthur Dayne soon, but that's pretty ridiculous. He says he could beat the Mountain. He says he could beat the Hound. He says he could beat all these different people, and I do believe him to an extent. Maybe not with Arthur Dayne, though, just because of the hype. Again, we'll get there. I think Arthur Dayne's a little overrated, as we'll talk about, but it's still questionable on that front. Points against Jaime, though, he did kill his king. All right, that's traitorous behavior, straight up, and in the back, too. Rough.
Which, I think we've been on record saying that Jaime killing the Mad King could be on the same level as Mace Windu versus Emperor Palpatine. We have no idea the actual battle that ensued in the Red Keep.
100%.
As he was trying to, take down the Mad King from, setting King's Landing on fire. So, for all we know, it could have been an awesome battle sequence.
Oh, dude, it's like Samus fighting Kraid in Super Metroid, shooting little fingernails, and he's trying to dodge him and fight him off. You know what I mean? Oh, dude.
I hope somebody gets that reference.
Come on. Let us know in the comments if you're a Super Metroid fan. Anyway, the other thing working against him, he's kind of a simp for his sister, dude.
Yes, he is a simp for his sister. The whole reason why he wants to become part of the King's Guard is so he can be in King's Landing with his sister. It's just... If he was just solely focused, which we see more of that in A Feast for Crows, right, where he's solely focused on just being a good, true knight. Mm-hmm. But just knowing deep down there's this simp. Well, once a simp, always a simp. I don't know if he'll ever be able to shed the simp title off his back.
The only way I could see that happening, honestly, is if they introduce some kind of a Night King type figure, like a one-shot kill for the White Walkers, and then he ends up basically allowing Cersei to die in order to take out that guy. You know what I mean? Redeem the Kingslayer name by beating the Night King and allowing Cersei to die in the process. You've therefore conquered symptom.
Okay, so the biggest con for me, though, for Jaime is that we never really saw his peak, and a good feat to go along with that peak, because the person, like you said earlier, in his inner monologue, he's going up against Sir Arthur Dayne, who is glazed by everybody. The Sword of the Morning, Wielder of Dawn. He's borderline mythical in this world, as everyone basically speaks in awe of him. But his life is cut short at the Tower of Joy. So pros for him. Everyone glazes him. So there must be some validity, right, in that. But if you look at his feats, what's his feats? He kills the Smiling Knight, which, I mean, that's great. He was a formidable foe by everyone else's estimate. Other than that, I think that's it.
It's George Hardar's opinion, man. That's it. He's like the King Engine from One Punch Man, right? He's not actually strong. He just sits there and kind of emanates this aura, and everybody's scared of him. And that's probably what happened with the Smiling Knight, to be honest with you. It's just when they see the sword, right? They see it and then they hear that doom, 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 like, oh shit, he's got Dawn. And in all fairness, if Dawn was on this list, maybe Dawn would go in number one, because the nature of what George has said heavily glazes Dawn almost more than Arthur, and it just makes me think now. It's like, What if you put Dawn in the hands of Jaime? What happens? You know what I mean?
Right, yeah.
Like, who's better?
A prime Jaime.
Yeah, exactly. That's my point. So
dude.
Arthur Dayne, obviously legendary figure, but the pure hype kind of makes me suspicious.
Yeah, my thought on Sir Arthur Dayne is his Super Bowl moment, right? For like if you think of he's like an NFL quarterback, he could be one of the greatest, like, you know, Dan Marino, and he never won a Super Bowl. So there's always this kind of asterisk next to his name where, oh, is he actually the greatest? Or, you know, he was never that great to get over the hump. The Tower of Joy was his Super Bowl moment for Sir Arthur Dayne, and he failed. He got stabbed in the back. Now, whether or not you think like, oh, that was an honorable, so it really doesn't count. Like, dude, you gotta have your wits about you, okay? You can't just be like, oh, that's not honorable. You can't do that. That's not honorable. Like, you think the Smiling Knight was all that honorable? Like, that guy was a psychopath. I don't think so.
He looked like a freak.
Yeah, he literally looks like the Joker in medieval armor.
I hate him.
He dies, and he didn't die like... It'd be different if Sir Arthur Dayne had no weapons, and he literally had to fight with like a stick, and he died to these people at the Tower of Joy. Then he'd be like, damn, he put up a big fight, and he literally had nothing. But he has Dawn, the ultimate neutralizer, the ultimate deterrent for any sort of enemy force against him. Yeah, Sir Arthur Dayne, this is a big L on him. He had a Super Bowl moment, and he failed. That all being said, is he above or below Jaime, do you think?
I mean, I guess with the whole Dawn hype, I guess we could put Arthur above Jaime for now. I might come back to that later and say no, to be honest with you. But for now, I think we can put Arthur above Jaime just because Jaime glazes Arthur to such an extent. Jaime is kind of like the protege of Arthur. And yeah, I know Jaime in his head does say that he could beat Arthur, you know, in his prime or whatever. But that is just a statement, and it's from, you know, Jaime, who is hopped up on his own tea. So for now, I think Arthur goes above Jaime.
Yeah, I agree. It's the ultimate tiebreaker there. And yeah, I wish there was more feats by both of them that we could compare, like actually what's great. But it really just comes down to their incident with the Smiling Knight, the Tower of Joy, and just some small interactions Jaime has. And I just don't see it really, as much as everyone glazes Arthur Dayne, I don't see it getting over for me. But the last but not least here,
oh yeah,
Barristan the Bold Selmy, a boy knight that started actually, I think, jousting at like 10 years old.
Yeah.
And that's how he gets the name. The Bold was from this act. And his boldness just never stops. This guy is a psychopath when it comes to becoming, or at least like fighting as a knight. And even decades past his prime, people look at him and respect and also fear him for what he can, what he's capable of. Even knights that are like half his age.
Oh yeah, I mean, look, when he gets like disbanded basically from the Kingsguard or whatever, he says like he could slice down all those Kingsguard, no problem. Like I could literally wear a headband over my eyes. I could plug my ears. It's like those. You ever seen that those hypotheticals where it's like limbless, blindfolded, sick, elderly Goku versus the whole Naruto universe, like the whole DC universe. It's like that. It's like Barristan with no limbs, blindfolded. He's mortally wounded. He's sick. He could still take down the whole rest of the Kingsguard by himself as an old man. Okay, that's how powerful this guy is reputation-wise. And his feats, unlike the other two, actually back that up. I don't know if this is the most impressive feat or not, but to me, it's the one that stands out the most. This guy beat Meleys on the battlefield. Okay, this is a hulking figure, stronger than the Mountain, allegedly. Okay, Meleys on his own gauntleted basically entire militias back to back and at once. He tanks arrows, he tanks sword hits. He has a little pimple head talking to you and distracting you with
two minds thinking on the battlefield constantly.
Well, he's whispering things to you. He's telling you these relatable takes so you get like, you know, distracted, like maybe I want to be this guy's friend. And then you find out he's just trying to distract you, but they're just such good takes and funny jokes. You keep getting distracted. That's Meleys' his whole game. Not to mention, he's absolutely strong as hell, and Barristan just took him to pound school, and that is very impressive.
Yeah, and Meleys, who, you know, we've said all these impressive feats on him, so then when Barristan takes him down, but Meleys rips off his cousin's head. Think about that, with his bare hands. I don't even know if what does the Mountain do? He crushes somebody. I don't know if he ever tears someone's head off, which, I mean, comment down below which one's more impressive to you, but I just feel like tearing off someone's head is way more impressive than crushing it. But, you know, I could be wrong. Or
well, it's more like, I think it is more impressive if you think about it. One hand's got to be kind of pushing down on like the shoulders or maybe the upper chest or whatever. The other hand, you're basically doing a front shoulder raise entirely, lifting that head off. It's like, damn, how do you do that? Oh, I guess you could kind of hold it in front of you and rip it apart like Captain America ripped open that log Remember that when he looked like he was tearing open someone's ass? Same kind of thing. Maybe you could do it like that. I don't know. Let us know in the comments.
I'm talking about another ass that was ripped open. Barristan took out Sir Duncan the Tall in a tournament, in a jousting tournament at 16. Dude, Sir Duncan Tall's in his prime, and Barristan is just on the rise. That's so impressive. He just takes down giants after giants, and then also Barristan fought off the Kingswood Brotherhood. So that wasn't like he was off doing, nothing, and then Sir Arthur Dayne and Jaime came to save the day. No, Barristan fought them off, and of course didn't die to them. He fought them off pretty well. And then the other one that's maybe one of his biggest feats is him just doing the most YOLO-like thing in the Defiance of Duskendale when he saves the Mad King, when he climbs the tower, kills like a ton of guards, takes an arrow to the chest, and then saves his king from potentially being killed at Duskendale. Like, that's so impressive. This guy, look at these feats, and all of them like all over the place. You have one-on-one combat, you have jousting, you have infiltration,
battlefield, like on horse against many enemies, right? Yeah, covert ops. Like, dude, he's like the spy mission stuff, man. He's operating like he was sent by the Iron Bank, dude. He's like a faceless man. That's how stealthy he is. Okay, there's really nothing he can't do. It's like, okay, this is where I love Jaime. Okay, if it was like my love for these characters, I think Jaime would be number one. But it's like, just look at the comparison. Kills his king by stabbing him in the back like a coward, versus risking your life to save your king from a tower. Like, that is...
Yeah, I know.
Is there even a question here? And then Arthur Dayne, he doesn't even have a king in my mind, so it's like he's kind of out of the question. But
I am saving the baby and the side piece of my prince. That's how I'm going to die. How pathetic, dude.
Pathetic.
Oh. Yeah, and if I can make another NFL comparison, because I know people are here for my NFL comparisons, I think of Barristan the Bold as like a Brett Favre. Like, he's played for many teams. He kind of overstays his welcome on a couple of them. And at the end of it, I think he's going to take an L. Like, and I'm a Vikings fan, so I know this quite well, that his last couple of years, not his greatest, but he did have a shining light. So I do think Barristan's going to have a great moment in Essos, and then eventually just kind of go out with a... And I don't think he's going to die like he did in the TV show. That's just a pathetic way to take him out. Just like a bunch of like thugs in the street just overwhelm him. Like, no way, dude. No way.
Extremely pathetic. But let's ignoring that, because we're going by book continuity only. So we only have this glorious beacon of light to look at as a reference here. Really, for all three of these guys, we do. Jaime got his hand cut off, but that's not his fault. So we do have three glorious men here. Are Barristan's feats here and lore and hype enough to put him in the number one spot? Because, I mean, come on. How could they not be, dude? This guy is absolutely the number one of these three. It's not even a question. The bigger question is who's number two and who's number three. Is it really just Barristan, Arthur Dayne, Jaime? Is that the way you go?
That's how I view it. And I feel like Jaime, if given enough time, it wasn't his hand wasn't cut off. I think Jaime could have been amazing in some other future battle and could have showed like what he was truly capable of, but he wasn't able to. I don't think Jaime. I'm trying to think. Do you think Jaime loses at the Tower of Joy if you switch him? Not in that same time. Take him in his prime, Jaime in his prime, in that situation,
and put Jaime like in Ned Stark's position.
No.
Oh, and
Keep Ned Stark there.
And Arthur Dayne.
Switch Arthur Dayne and Jaime. Does Jaime die there?
I mean, that's such a hard question, because Arthur Dayne dies. We don't know what kind of trickery and bullshit goes on in that situation. But
right, from the TV, or like, because we saw on the TV show, just like someone Howland Reed just snuck up.
Well, yeah, but I mean, like, there has to be something
Here's
that
a back
goes
shot
on.
You won't forget.
Yeah, right, exactly. But I mean, well, Jaime talking to the Mad King there, or what? But it's one of these things though. Like, if you're gonna take George Hard R. Martin's comment seriously there, and talk about how Arthur Dayne is like the best, then I feel like that implies that in the narrative, when it comes in the books, I'm not saying it's going to be the exact same trickery that happened in the show, but he's not going to lose legitimately to Ned Stark. So if your question is, would Jaime die to Ned Stark, I would say no. But if he is in the same situation with the same tricks as Arthur, then I think maybe, unless you think Jaime is kind of like more of a trickster himself, willing to play dirty, so maybe he'd be more attuned to dirty play, and then he could kind of maybe avoid it. He sees the knife being thrust toward the back of his head, and then he moves his head to the side, and then it stabs through Ned Stark. Hilarious. Maybe that's what happens.
Oh, dude, classic Three Stooges.
Yeah.
Howland Reed, Jaime Lannister, and Ned Stark.
Yeah, it wasn't 3 for very long. Now it's 2. But Yeah, I don't know. But we'll see when the alternate universe version of these books comes out. George's next life. But for now,
gun to your head, Gator.
Yeah.
Gun to your head. Jaime, Arthur Dayne. You got to put one in front of the other. Who is it? Because Barristan's number one right now.
Like I said, whoever gets Dawn. I mean, whoever gets Dawn wins. So I guess Arthur Dayne. If you give Dawn to Jaime, he wins. I'm not sure either one of them beat Barristan when they have Dawn. I know George's little comments, but it's irrelevant what he says, honestly. It's out of universe, dude. I respect him for making the story, but that doesn't mean he knows everything, okay? So I think that for now, with Dawn, it's Barristan, Arthur, and my boy Special J at the bottom.
Dawn Boy wins again. Hey, thanks for watching this video. Be sure to subscribe if you want to see more content like this and smash that like button.
Or not. We don't care.